there's gonna be seasons of life. You're going to go through hardships. You're going to go through highs. You're going to go through lows. It's inevitable. You can't avoid it. It's going to happen. Be okay with change. Be okay with having to adapt. Be okay with growth, because that is how we get to the other side. That is how we open the next chapter. That is how we see this new form of... These things keep coming out of my freaking couch. I just got this new shirt yesterday and I'm obsessed with it. Also got this yesterday and I'm obsessed with it.
Not sure.
Gummy Bear Lip Glowy Balm. Literally obsessed. $18 for this. Kind of ridiculous, but you can't care when it's so yummy. All right, welcome back to a new video. Today, I am going to just be answering some of your guys' questions. I put up a how can I help you box on Instagram not too many days ago. Maybe it was more days than I thought. And I just wanted to get back to you guys, but do this in a YouTube form and see if there's, I don't know, any way that I can kind of help inspire you guys or help guide you guys. And I do it on Instagram all the time, and I send you guys direct voice memos, but I send it only to you. And I feel like if I answer some of these questions on here, it can help other people who maybe have the same question or are too shy to ask the question or are too shy to reach out. So that is what today's gonna be focused on. It's not gonna be anything crazy. It's just gonna be answering questions and helping and guiding. So I don't expect everyone to be watching this whole video. If you do, that's amazing, and I love that. If you don't, no big deal. Let's jump right into the questions. Advice to get out of a funk. Still dealing with an injured arm, but I have the rest of me. Getting out of a funk in general could be an injury, could be a breakup, could be change in life in general. It's hard, but at the end of the day, no one can get you out of that funk. You have to get yourself out of that funk. You are in complete control of it. So I would say trying doing something new. So for example, if in the morning you have a typical routine you do, add something new in there. Maybe go to a coffee shop to do work instead of being at home, or on the weekends instead of doing what you would typically do. Do something different. That's what helps me to get out of a funk, is being around other people, doing something that's freeing, that maybe doesn't require me to think as much, and just letting my body just flow and my mind flow. That helps get me out of a funk, and it reminds me and it brings me back into a perspective of like, okay, wow, there's so much more in this life than just this one thing that I'm hyper focused on right now, whether that's a breakup, an injury, like I said, change in life. You gotta open your eyes. You gotta look at the bigger picture. We are one person on this giant planet. The being in a funk is not worth it. Take your little bit of time, give yourself an hour, maybe a day, and then you gotta wake up and you gotta get over it. You gotta move forward. Always, always have to move forward. How do you deal with new gym anxiety? When it comes to gym anxiety, that's normal. I still have it to this day. I've done so much better at how do I deal with it? How do I manage it? On the days that I have really bad gym anxiety, I tend to just cover myself up a little bit more, put a hat on, I will put my hood up if I need to, and I'll just completely zone everything out and focus on the picture in front of me. One good way to think about this is if a spotlight is shining on you, right? You have to be able to focus on everything that is in the spotlight, nothing else. So whenever you start to get anxious, whenever you start to overthink, I don't know what's going on back there. Think to yourself, what is the spotlight shining on right now? Every single time, it's going to be just perfectly around you and what you're doing in that moment. You can hyperfixate and focus on that. A lot of that anxiety will start to go away. Worrying doesn't help anything. We all do it. We're all guilty of it. But at the end of the day, you have to understand it's not going to benefit us. Reassure yourself. Be positive, even if you have to just be pretty cheesy in your brain and just tell yourself, I believe in myself, I'm gonna get through this, I'm going to just show up today regardless of how I feel, and just keep repeating those things in your head. You're gonna train yourself to be more positive in that situation and be able to kind of push that gym anxiety away. But just know that you're gonna have days that are a little bit worse than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you just show up. That's what matters. What advice would you give for people who have friends that don't share the same vision? That is honestly typical. Going to run into a situation like this, more common than not, because your vision and your goal is yours for a reason, right? It's not Joe Schmo's or Susie Q's. It's not, it's yours. So it's hard for other people to understand that and see that. A tattoo I'm getting is, the vision is mine, so how could you see it? Exactly relates to that. Other people in your life are not gonna understand what you want and see what you want all the time, and that's okay. You don't have to waste your time getting them to understand it, because they're probably not going to understand it, and that's okay. You just have to be okay with that, and you have to keep doing what is best for you and keep doing what you believe in and keep driving towards achieving the goal that you want to achieve, not anybody else. Because the more we get stuck up on people not understanding what we want in our vision, the more it takes us away from what we want in achieving that goal. Some people may not see what you see, and they may not understand what you understand or do what you want to do, but that doesn't mean that you can't do that alone and go alone and experience that alone. Don't let people take that experience away from you just because you feel like you have to do things with somebody. Don't let people ruin that, please. I got laid off in May and have had no luck getting hired, feeling confused on what to do. It's tough, right? And what I'm gonna go to is what I always go to, is life is full of seasons. You cannot give up. You're gonna have these highs and you're gonna have these lows. I don't know what the cats are doing upstairs, but you're gonna experience highs, you're gonna experience lows. That is inevitable, right? So you have to be okay with that. You have to understand that what season you're in. And the season you're in right now is a challenging one, yes, but you are going to get through it. You're gonna learn a ton through this season, and that's more exciting than anything, because you're being put in this challenge and it's like, okay, how do I get through this? What am I going to learn through this? How do I need to adapt, right? What do I need to do differently? What is going on? That is what you need to be focusing on. So focus on this new journey. It may be frustrating. It may be, a question mark every day, but as long as you're showing up and you're putting effort in trying to find a new job and diving headfirst at these challenges, you're going to figure it out and you're going to get through it. Just trust in that and trust in yourself, and I swear it's gonna work out. But you just have to keep trying every single day. You have to. How do you just believe in yourself even if you feel you don't have people on your side? Another pretty common thing that we all probably experience and go through is feeling like no one believes in us, feeling like we're alone, and that can be confusing, but trust me, there is people on your side, and at the end of the day, we can't always just focus on other people to fuel us, to believe in us, to motivate us. We cannot focus on that because it comes and goes, but what doesn't come and go is ourself, right? Our self-discipline, showing up for ourselves, regardless of how we feel, regardless of our emotions, regardless of what's going on in our day-to-day life. No one can control your ability to show up for yourself but you, right? If we let other people control that, you're gonna be let down and you're gonna be disappointed more times than not. So focus on yourself, focus on how you need to show up, focus on how you can motivate yourself, focus on your self-discipline, and at the end of the day, you're going to continue to move forward regardless of those people around you. What kept you going when you hit your lowest point? That's hard. I feel like, one, you guys definitely kept me going. The idea that there's this community of people who are watching me and, are inspired by me and see something in me enough to just watch, engage, have conversations with me, that kept me going a lot at a very low point in my life. It still does. Like, I come to you guys a lot more than you think, making content, going on TikTok live, making posts, DMing you guys, sending voice memos to you guys. That motivates me and it keeps me accountable and it makes me feel less alone. And just the idea that I always remind myself, no one can do anything for me. Something that is for me has to be done by me. Something that needs to be felt by me has to be done by me, right? So the more you can remind yourself that, like, you have to do it and you have to show up for yourself no matter what, the quicker you can succeed, right? But you have to hit these low points in order to go up, right? People always say it's like a bow and arrow. In order to shoot the arrow, you have to pull back, right? So we're gonna be pulled down before we can go up. And I truly do believe in that. When you go through tough times, you experience these new challenges, you find ways to adapt and to adjust, and you just learn how to grow. And then it builds this new version of you. And it's so crucial to learn those things and to go through those hard moments in order to become this new version of yourself that knows how to navigate and adapt in these hard situations. And it's gonna repeat itself consistently. You're gonna keep being hit with these hard situations, and that's okay. You just have to continue to learn to adapt, and that's what matters. Need some motivation to move forward with business adventures. I know it needs to be done, but I'm just overwhelmed with what I have going on already. There's never going to be a right time ever in your life. That's just how it is. It is what it is. There's never gonna be a right time. You just have to make time for it. If you really want to achieve something, you gotta make time for it. If you want it to be what you want it to be, you gotta work hard. You gotta set time aside for it. Again, no one can do it for you. This is your business, this is your dream, this is your adventure. You have to do that. So if you want it, you're going to put the time aside to do it. You just have to get over the paralysis by analysis. Like, stop overthinking it and just do. What's the worst that can happen? You fail? Cool, now you know what not to do next time, right? So don't overthink it. Stop overthinking, just start. Need a little pick-me-up, feeling really down lately. I was just talking on my Instagram or TikTok live this morning how I've also been struggling. I have every other day I'm like an emotional wreck, and at least once a day I'm probably crying and letting at least one tear shed, and that's okay because I know I'm going through so much change and growth right now that I'm gonna experience those things, and you may be too. But at the end of the day, you have to think that tomorrow you could be gone. It could all change in a second and you don't have control over that. But what you do have control over is this moment right now, making the most of this moment right now. What do you want? How do you want to feel? Do you want to go out being sad? Do you want to go out feeling less, feeling insecure? No, you don't. You want to go out feeling confident. You want to go out feeling happy, having a great time, enjoying the little things. Stop overcomplicating life. Simplify life. The simpler things can be, the easier it is, the more flow there is. We are one little speck on this giant earth. I promise you, whatever you're worrying about and hyperfixated on, it's probably not as big of a deal as you think. So perspective shift, that's what you need. One of the cats threw up, I gotta clean it up. It's crazy because all of these questions kind of come back together as one. They all have a similar answer. And so, like I said earlier, find your core belief system in what's gonna get you through these things, because that's what's gonna help, and you have to have something to kind of fall back on. So maybe I won't even answer another question. Let's just end on that. So there's gonna be seasons of life. You're going to go through hardships. You're going to go through highs. You're going to go through lows. It's inevitable. You can't avoid it. It's going to happen, right? That being said, be okay with change. Be okay with having to adapt. Be okay with growth, because that is how we get to the other side. That is how we open the next chapter. That is how we see this new form of life that we're about to be living in. But if we don't accept the growth, we don't accept the change, we aren't willing to adapt, we'll constantly stay in this chapter. We won't be happy, and we'll wonder why we're not happy. It's because you're not letting the growth in. You're not willing to adapt. You're not willing to shift your perspective into this new chapter, a new season of your life. Focus on those things. Write it out. Do whatever you have to do with that. But I promise if you can find some foundation in that and belief in it, and remind yourself of it when you're having a hard moment, you're gonna get through it a lot easier. I tell myself it all the time. I'm building a brand and I have no fucking clue what I'm doing every day, half the time. And I tell myself, a majority of the millionaires out there, majority of these big company owners, they don't know what they're doing. They fail, and then they learn what not to do, and then they just try again and they try again. So remind yourself that you're a speck on this earth. Perspective shift. Keep things simple. Keep moving forward. Believe in yourself. Keep things simple. Keep things light. Have fun. Smile. Compliment yourself. Compliment others. Be nice to yourself in your head. And just doing these small things over time will build this new mentality and shift in perspective in your head that is just going to benefit you and those around you in so many different ways. So hopefully today's video helped in any way, shape, or form. I'm not expecting to get a bunch of views on this. I'm just trying to help and extend a helping hand to you guys, because you guys have done so much for me in my life, and I want to be able to give back and inspire and just be that advice for someone who maybe doesn't have that person in their life, or maybe needs this right now. And hopefully something resonated with you. Hopefully you take something away from this. And I love you guys so much. I don't think you get it. Just recording this and talking to you guys makes me happier, and it makes my day-to-day a little bit easier. I'm gonna put a smile on my face. So thank you for being here. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 30K, and I love you shawties so much. This week's gonna be really busy with summer shredding, so expect a new video, maybe a new video Wednesday, but probably not another, maybe a new video Wednesday and then next Monday, because this weekend is summer shredding, and it's gonna be crazy with athlete stuff with Alphalete, as well as with our AuthenFit athletes in town. We have 3 girls competing, 2 in figure and 1 in bikini, and I'm so excited for them to come in town today. So I love you guys so much. Remember, control controllables and believe in yourself. It is half the damn battle. Peace. But then shalom. Mr. Goose is laying right here. The guy who freaking bit me and made me bleed. What's wrong with you? Why are you in play mode? He's in play mode. Oh my god, crazy, crazy. He's crazy, crazy. Oh my god, he's crazy right now. Help me. What's wrong with you? Huh? What's wrong with you? Ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum.